see the world very differently. But scientifically, are men's brains different than women's brains?
There are huge differences. In our clinics, we do brain imaging, and we look at the differences between men and women, especially in couples who fight.
Okay.
And what we see, these are brain scans that we use. They're called SPECT studies. They look at blood flow and activity patterns. And in a woman's brain, in the emotional centers of her brain, it's just on fire.
This is during a
always
fight.
Working. Well, no, this is at rest. Even at rest, her brain is always going. And you see, there's not much happening in the guy's brain. And so he always needs excitement. He needs stimulation just to be able to concentrate.
Okay, there's actually a way to figure out if which men have more testosterone than others,
you can.
right?
You just have to look at their hands. If their second finger is smaller than their fourth finger, then they got a lot of testosterone.
You guys, I know, want to check.
Utero.
Just go ahead and check. Men do not want to stop for directions ever. Ever. Why?
Because they don't know that they're lost. They don't think they're lost.
Well, why?
Wait,
but they're not thinking.
They're in denial.
So this is very important. Two hemispheres in the brain, and it's really like males and females. Guys are left-sided, more detailed, more to the point, generally happier. The right side allows you to know when you have trouble. So even though men are better at getting from point A to point B, they have no idea that they're lost. And so women are much better at asking for help.
That's why we drive with them, to tell them they're lost. And they should stop for directions.
That's why they get mechanical devices, because they have no idea that they are lost.
But it's actually, there's a bigger meaning to that. And that is, if there's trouble in a relationship, the woman knows. The guy has no clue, which is why 75% of the time when somebody files for divorce, it's a woman. And she's going, there's trouble, and he is in denial. It's the same thing. Won't stop to ask for directions, won't stop to ask for help in the marriage.
But the guy chat and talk. Guys don't like that. Why?
Well, guys like to gossip. We just don't gossip as much. Language is, for the guys, usually just on the left side of the brain. In fact, if we have a stroke, we lose language. Women, if they have the same stroke, they don't lose language because they have language. They actually have language on both sides. And because they have language on both sides, they have a lot more to say. But it gets them in trouble with kids. You know, kids listen to their dads more than their moms because dads use less words. And when I teach parent training, it's like, I got to get moms to use, it's like, do what I say.
That makes sense.
I've heard that. I've heard that men actually have like an amount of words that they can use in the day, and once they're done, they stop, and they use them very wisely. And we just keep going. We have an abundance of words.
Right, because you have language on both sides of the brain.
Okay, now what about this remote control issue?
That's funny.
Because this is something I deal with. Like, Tim always needs a remote and always has to be changing channels, and I could sit there all day and not touch it. Why?
Because he needs excitement. He needs stimulation.
That's excitement
he needs things
too?
that are different. And women, they get into the relationship on TV. What's he thinking? What's she thinking? What's going to happen next? And guys don't care about that stuff at all. It's like, what's next? Where are the highlights?
What is he yelling at the football game about? Hey, God, I hear Steve in the next room screaming at the television set when the football game is on. What is that about?
Well, again,
he doesn't yell about anything else.
Going back to the pictures with the low activity, as soon as he gets a thought, he like says
that one time a day.
Seriously. A recent survey just came out and it said men lie more, but women lie better. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't know if they lie better, but men are not good at picking it up. So they don't know when they're lost, they don't know when she's lying. Women, because they have better access to the right side, well, that gives you sort of what's going on socially. They pick up subtle cues much better than
Are
women.
men sort of underdeveloped in a way? Is their mind sort of somewhat underdeveloped?
No, it's developed in a different way. They need excitement so they can go out and shoot things and bring food home. That's how our brains evolve.
A lack of civilization or being socialized or something.
It's just different.
But that would explain the Einsteins and the Michelangelos of the world, because they really are motivated to get that thing done. Whereas the women are interested in just, you know, sitting around, talking, whatever, sewing, things that we like to do.
Well, and men can only do one thing at a time.
Right. Well, we know that. Thank you for giving us some scientific evidence.